Yo, traders, how are we? Welcome to the live stream. Trader Tom here, and hope you are all well. Guys, in today's live Forex trading and analysis vid, we are going to look at the last 3 trades that I've taken since I last saw you guys. So we've had 2 winners and 1 losing trade, and we literally just got stopped out on our losing trade. So we're going to understand those 3 trades and how they worked out. That's what we're going to do first of all. Then we are going to take a look at the news right now, because let's just get rid of this. At 1:30, guys, we have all of this data coming out of the US, right? So we are going to look at all of this, because the US dollar, will it, won't it? It is teetering on the edge, the US dollar. I must say, you know, there's an argument for US dollar strength and there's an argument for not US dollar strength. So we're going to take a look at that as well, guys. And this could be a deciding factor. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then also, guys, we are going to take as many of your questions as humanly possible, right? So don't be shy. Come say hello, leave a question. Let me bring the comments up now that I've said that. And yeah, we'll take as many questions as we can. And it could be anything to do with trading, guys. It doesn't have to be a currency pair that you're looking at, but of course it can. But it could be to do with anything: psychology, support and resistance, strategy, money risk management. It could be, how is your day, Tom? It can be whatever you like, right? So that's what we're going to do. That is the plan. Before I show you my trades that I've taken over the last few days, and I am not one for suffering with FOMO, but my God, did we have a nice trade on Aussie dollar yen, right? Just check this out. And I just wasn't awake. It sort of happened literally after the daily candle had finished forming. But look, as you can see, right, we was in this uptrend with Aussie dollar yen, and now it's broken down, right? And it retraced back to this trend line, which price has just been respecting. And that is quite a straight diagonal line, I must say, with a mouse. It's not easy drawing with a mouse. You try it and send your drawings to Simply Forex in Dubai. It's not easy. So, and then look, and then we just started getting these rejection candles here. Now, they are dojis, right? But you can see sellers and buyers are fighting it out with these candles. That's what dojis are buyers and sellers fighting, and no one is winning. So at the start of the day, I said to myself on the H4, if we get a break of structure on the H4, I would be interested in taking this trade. So not only did we break this significant low in here, right? We also broke out of this trend line. So if you just put a trend line through here, right, you can see price was respecting that. Yeah, it just kept hitting this trend line, hitting. And then we had this nice big bearish candle. And there is nothing more beautiful, not even Gal Gadot is more beautiful than that setup, because you are getting a H4 structure break and you're getting a trend line structure, trend line break. And on the H4, we had stopped making higher highs. And just look how the candles changed, right? This is really important, guys, right? So, you know, this is really important, actually. And we was talking a bit about this in the VIP. Now, look at this H4 uptrend, right? We're just going to look at this segment right here, okay? Now, look at every high, okay? Now, when the trend starts by breaking this level here, right? So right here is our new H4 high. And then just look at the candles. There's not much selling in there. These are predominantly bullish candles. you know, okay, we do get a little bit of a wick here, but then bang, big bullish candle, right? We've made higher highs. That confirms the uptrend. Now I don't care if we see these big bearish candles. Comes down, we see bullish candles. It's a good entry. Look at this last high. Just absolutely blows through it. Price retraces again. Look how price reacts at this high. Yeah, we get a little bit of a stutter, but breaks through it. Now, look how price has started to react at this high. And funnily enough, me and Brett were talking about this earlier on, right? And look at it. Look how the candles reacted at all of these highs, right? Even this one. And now start looking at these, right? Totally different outlook. Sellers are beginning to take control at this level, right? It starts here, really. Top wick, and then just look at that candle. And then look how the candles change. Top wick, not much, and then bang, right? We break everything, including the plates, the cutlery. You can't really break cutlery. It's made of steel. But you know what I mean, right? And it was just such a nice trade. You know, I woke up, it was down here somewhere, missed the trade, because what I would want to do is start selling here. If not, wait for a little pullback into here, start selling, stops above here, and take it back down to this 95.80 level. And that would have been a lovely trade. So I just wanted to share that, how much of a nice setup that was. But trades I have taken since we last had a live stream were these. So New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. You know, and what I'm going to show you guys is pretty, it's just price action. It's just facts on a chart. That's all it is, right? So let me talk you through the facts of New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar buys, right? We were in a downtrend. This downtrend became a range, right? Ranging between here and here, okay? Fact, right? Ever since we bounced off this level, we started seeing bullish candles. We got some hesitation. Were sellers going to take the market back? Then bang, big bullish green candle. No, they are not. And we've got a very good chance of taking price back up to these highs, right? So trend is with us. We had this nice big bullish candle. We're bouncing off the moving average 20. We got loads of nice room to move into, right? What is not to like about that trade? And then if we go down to the H4, I basically entered on this candle right here, right? So H4 was a little bit scruffy, to be honest, right? It was sort of ranging a little bit. Was it breaking down? Then it shot back up, but it didn't. It sort of hovered at this resistance level. But then once I saw this candle and the body of this candle break that level, I started buying, right? So structure and trend, tick, broke resistance, tick, bullish candle, tick, value, yeah, we're buying the moving average 20. We've got lots of room to move into, tick. And you can see how quickly it came up and hit target. All right, so yeah, let me show you my two winning trades to start with, and then we'll take a look at the losing trade, which took a few days really. So let's also look at euro yen, and I'm glad I took profit here. Now look how the yen has changed, right? We all know this yen strength's coming into the market, but if I go back to this day right here, I'm going to use the replay button, right? If I go back to this button right here, yeah, and I say to you, I want to buy the market, you'll be like, yeah, Tom, good thinking, right? We were in this uptrend, price broke down, we were sort of hovering around this resistance level, and then this candle broke it, right? This is the day chart. The daily gives me my direction. So you'd be thinking, Tom, let's buy this back up to these highs. And I would be like, yes, that's a great idea. Let's do that. Yeah. let me jump in and join you, right? And then we even got a nice setup, right? So if we go to the H4 again, guys, right? All I'm looking for, I don't know why it's all the way over here, right? Let's move it in there. All I'm looking for is H4 to be in an uptrend, right? Okay, let me draw that again. Right, H4 to be in an uptrend. Tick. It broke this key resistance level, as we knew on the day chart, and then we started getting bullish wicks, right? Started buying in here, stops below the moving average 20 and these wicks. And then I took profit at 1:1. This is slightly off. I've moved it. But anyway, I took profit exactly at this 173 level. Sorry, guys, this is it's still in replay. Let me go back to real time now. So yeah, there you go, guys, right? So we entered in here, started buying because of these bullish wicks, and we literally got out at 173 dead. My target was a little bit further, but I just took profit at 173, got my 1:1, and got the hell out of there. Now, this is a really good example of taking profit, because if I did say to myself and make this my trade, right, and move it up to here, and I said, right, this is my trade, and I'm only taking that, right, then you would have had a losing trade. I always take some profit at 1:1, right? And this is the reason you never know when the market can turn on you. Okay, obviously it can turn on you before you get your 1:1. But just think of your target as a, as a archery target, right? If I'm, 5 meters away, I'm going to get bullseye a lot. If I'm 20 meters away, I'm going to get bullseye less. And this is the concept of risk to reward. If your risk to reward is 1:1, you're generally going to have a higher win percentage than somebody whose risk to reward is 1:3, for example. You just are, yeah, because your trade has less distance to travel. There's more likelihood of it hitting target. Now, I'm not saying 1:1 is the perfect risk to reward or 1:3 is bad. It's just you need to know the statistics of your strategy, right? You need to know your win percentage. I talked about this in a video literally the other day. You need to know your win percentage and your risk to reward in general. I have a 60% on average, 60% win rate, and I have a risk to reward of 1:1. I let some profits run, but that, in terms of those statistics, is a profitable strategy, right? And you need to know your statistics, guys. If you don't, journal, go work it out. Yeah, and a really good example of taking some profit at 1:1, right? It come crashing down. And then the losing trade that I had was this New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. This has been a drain. It hasn't really. I've just, I've been letting it play out. But yeah, one of those long trades take, a couple of days is a long trade for me, and it just doesn't work out, right? And earlier on today, once I saw this big bullish H4 candle, I was thinking, hello, we're on to something. Now, I still think we are bullish New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. If we go to the day chart, right, ignore today's candle, right, that hasn't finished forming, right? Just look at New Zealand dollar Swiss franc, right? Ranging, break. This candle broke out of this range. Bullish. This wasn't bullish, but the candle, yesterday's candle was bullish. Not super bullish, but buyers were coming back. And now look what's happened, right? We've got real strength in the flight to safeties. You've seen the strength in yen, and you've seen the strength in Swiss franc here as well. So It will still be very interesting to see what happens at this moving average 20, and if this wick ends up closing back into this level. Right, if we end up with a candle that looks something like this, my God, that's the worst candle I've ever drawn, and I've drawn some bad candles. But if we end up with a candle that looks like this, right? Don't get me wrong, that's not super bullish, but I'm still liking the fact that it's bouncing off the moving average 20 and we're still in this uptrend, right? So daily, unless this candle finishes like this, is still telling me to buy New Zealand dollar Swiss franc. But alas, you know, we got stopped out, as you can see, once it started breaking this level. So that's me, guys. And just to show you guys, you know, I post all of my trades obviously ahead of time. You know, we're not a hindsight trader. Honestly, the amount of shit out there with all these hindsight trades, right? We put them all in real time. There was my New Zealand dollar Canadian dollar. There's my euro yen. That was an Aussie dollar Canadian dollar trade. We took a small bit of profit on. And there was my New Zealand Swiss franc trade that we got stopped out of. And if you want access to this, guys, please come join our free Discord channel. So you can see the QR code on the screen. Just click that, come join the free Discord. Speak to like-minded traders, share ideas, knowledge, come check it out. Also, guys, if you haven't already, please go check out the website, www.simply-forex.com, and check out all of our premium trading education, including the course, including the mentorship program, including the VIP Academy, and including our new price action indicator, which is kicking ass, Bruce Lee style. I did karate when I was younger. I think I got up to a yellow belt. I think, if that, you know, I was a kid. Did a bit of judo. Basically Bruce Lee when I was a child. Laughing at my own jokes again. Right, anyway, that's me, guys. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Right, enough about me. Let's see who is in the house. Cop Prod, how are you, mate? Good to be here. How are you doing today? I'm very well, Cop Prod. I'm still in the Philippines, still enjoying it. And we had a mental storm come in. Like, it was proper. Honestly, I thought the windows were going to blast through. Not exaggerating, maybe a little bit. Luigi, hi Tom, how are you? Facile, how are you? Brett, thank you very much. Your video yesterday was good. How would you help others? Okay, so here's a question. All right, so Brett, your video yesterday on 25% win rate was good. How would you help others deal with so many losses with such a strategy? And do you think you could handle so many losses? Good question. And in a word, no, I couldn't. Right? So if you haven't checked out my vid, it was posted yesterday. So go check it out. And it was about trading extremes. Right? So I know some traders who have like a 25% win rate. And I know traders who will have 70% win rates. Right? So, but both can be profitable. Now, you need, you know, I always say this, but you need to find a strategy that suits your personality. So to share with you my personality, right? I am not good with a low win percentage, which therefore, as I explained earlier, which is why I take 1:1, because I wasn't very good at letting profits run. But if I take partial profits, I can let profits run. So I know my personality, right? Now, I'm okay with my 60% win rate. Okay, I'm still wrong 4 out of 10 times if you think about it, which is quite a lot, right? If you know, if it was anything else, if it was brain surgery, you wouldn't want the doctor to have a 60% win rate, right? You would want higher, right? You know what I mean? If you was going to have a you know, kidney transplant. You don't want to be like, yeah, he's got about a 60% win rate, right? Certain things you want a high win rate, but trading's not like that. So I've sort of found my happy place with 60%, right? Which takes years, right? And understanding your strategy. And it was as a result of me taking 1:1. So me taking 1:1 on pretty much all of my trades, letting some profit runs, means that I have a reasonably high win percentage, and that suits my personality. Now, another personality might be, I'm okay with being wrong a lot, but when I am right, I make a big profit, right? And that's basically with someone with a 25% win rate does. Loses a trade, loses a trade, loses a trade, wins big, right? And there's no wrong or right way of trading. But what you need to focus on is a strategy that suits you. Understand you, and you know what kind of percentage win rate could you cope with, right? So yeah, it's all about finding something that suits you. You know, if you think about it, I'm sure most of you have tried 1,000 different strategies. You saw this guru online, he said this strategy makes, you know, this strategy makes 90%, has a 90% win rate. You're like, oh brilliant, let's trade that. And then before you know it, you can't trade that system because it doesn't suit your personality. That's all it is. There's a lot of strategies that work out there, but the real question is, do they work for you? That's the, you know, they say the holy grail, but that is the holy grail. And in order to find that, you need to understand your win rate and your risk to reward with your system. Right? They're two such important metrics of your strategy that you need to understand. So there you go. Glad you enjoyed the vid. Go check it out, guys, from yesterday. Heath, how are you? Okay, so Heath's got a question here as well. Good, we're straight in with the questions. I love all of your questions. Tom, can you tell me your thoughts? Because the British economy is in such a bad state. Why is the FTSE surging to all-time highs? Thank you. So, first and foremost, Heath, I don't give a about fundamentals, right? And before you all think, oh, Christ, Tom's a maniac, you've got to look at fundamentals. Fundamentals is what moves the market. Right, so let's look at anything. Right, let's look at you were talking about pounds. Let's look at pound US dollar. Now, just looking at the daily chart, whatever it is at the moment, is we are seeing a strong pound. Now, it might have something to do with the interest rate decision that we had the other day, right? And most of the voting members voted that we shouldn't have another rate cut. And it gives a lot of strength to pound, right? This is just an example. I know you're talking about the economy, but this is an example of fundamentals. So the pound is strong on the back of that, right? There's other fundamental reasons to do with the dollar and more reasons to do with the pound. I'm sure a lot of fundamental traders out there will tell me that, right? But I don't care, right? If there's a load of buying pressure because of fundamentals, I want to buy, right? All I'm going to do is wait for a technical setup. You know, let's say price retraces into here, moving average 20 catches up, we get a big bullish candle. I will start buying. Simple as that, right? And because I'm with the higher time frame trend, I am already with the fundamentals. So think of fundamentals, guys, as the driving force behind what moves markets, but how you trade markets is technical analysis and price action, right? That's how you get into the trade. Yeah, you know, there's so many of these analysts, right? You see them on Bloomberg, CNN, or whatever. They're like, I am bullish pound. You're like, rightio, mate, could you close that down a bit and help me out a little bit? Where should I enter? They're like, I don't know, I'm just bullish pound. You're like, okay, brilliant, that really helps. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter. I don't care if he's bullish pound. What I care about is I'm bullish pound and I'm going to enter at this support level once price does this. And, you know, I need some reasoning behind a trade. I need some confluence, some reasons to take a trade. Whether you're bullish pound or not, you know, I don't care. I need the technical setup. So going back to with regards to the British economy, it's just indices in general are booming. And also, you know, we're not getting bad figures come out of the UK. I mean, look at the GDP today, right? That is very bullish for the FTSE, right? GDP, gross domestic product. That is a big jump, right? Nothing but bullish for the FTSE, right? But how I trade the FTSE, you know, if I say to you I'm bullish FTSE, you're like, okay, means nothing. Yeah, you want to know where to trade from with technical analysis. But yeah, there's some good figures, Heath, coming out of, we had good interest rate figures come out the other day in terms of the voting members. We've had good GDP today. This is all bullish for the economy. Right, what else? Who else have we got in? Niraj, hi Tom, Aussie dollar yen, please. Okay, we'll take a look at that. We've got other questions from Joma, Pramandeep, Omar, Mosquito. These little bastards have been getting me all month, to be honest. You won't believe the bites on my legs. That was like Bruce Lee speed. Poo Poppy, I'm an amazing hindsight trader. Yeah, me too, Poo Poppy. I'm a millionaire in hindsight. Okay, Lucky. Right, we've got loads of questions to get through. Let's start at the top then. Let's start with Aussie dollar, Japanese yen. We'll go on the chart, Niraj, but we've actually got news coming out in a minute, right? But I mean, yeah, I've already looked at Aussie dollar yen at the start, Niraj, and I wanted to sell this. And just look at the flight to safeties. Look at yen. Let's have a look at Swiss franc. Yeah, look at these flight to safeties. Are the economies, not the economies, are the indices coming down? Let's have a look at NASDAQ. Not really. So we'll look at S&P. Okay, we're just seeing a lot of flight to safety strength. And Niraj, yeah, please go check out the start of the show. We analysed Aussie dollar yen in detail. Omar is looking for a pound Aussie dollar pullback to see if I can catch a buy. Yes, Omar, before I even look at that chart, it's flying. So yeah, we need a pullback. There's no value in it. Let's bring up pound Aussie dollar. There you go. Look at that bad boy. That is flying. But don't try and catch space rockets. Don't start buying here. That's what maniacs do. And Omar, you are not a maniac. All right. We want at least a pullback into here before we look to buy. All right. And really, hang on, we got a minute. This level hasn't broke, right? I know with this candle, okay, that has the body of it has broke it, but I still want to see a bit of a break of that wick, and it looks like we're going to get it, right? So I'm going to be, if the candle finishes like this, I'm going to be very bullish pound Aussie dollar myself on the day chart. Let's have a quick look at the weekly chart. I'm just conscious of this moving average 20. Yeah, we started to track below it, right? I'm very conscious of that, in fact. You know, yeah. So that makes me a little bit hesitant about pound Aussie dollar strength. But anyway, well, we've got 5 seconds before the news. Let's have a look at Euro US dollar. Let's play guess the news game. Strong US dollar, strong like bull, very strong. Let's have a look at some others. Let's have a look at US dollar, Swiss franc, strong like bull. Very strong. Let's have a look at gold. This is another one, strong like bull. Pound euro, right, strong. I don't want to say I know, but you could feel US dollar strength today. It was, just all this teetering at key levels, right? It just wanted to burst. So obviously, guys, it's called Guess the News game. It's not that exciting in terms of games. If you want to play a good game, play Risk. The Risk board game is the best game in the world. And chess. Chess is pretty good. But I'm going to say the news was better than expected. I know. Let's have a look. A clean sweep of green figures. Right? Green. So that is obviously bullish US dollar. It should be bullish indices. Right? Let's have a look at the indices. Total opposite. So any fundamentalists, if you can explain what's going on here with the NASDAQ, but again, guys, it doesn't matter. I will look at this tomorrow and make a decision on it from a price action point of view. But yeah, interesting. NASDAQ's dropping, S&P. So again, this should lead to more strength in yen. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see. We're getting such a drop-off in yen pairs, such yen strength. Omar, yeah, okay, we sort of answered pound Aussie dollar. It is super bullish. Even to consider a trade, we would need a pullback, at least into these highs. Yeah, so we shall see there. Jolma, morning, Tom. I'm late, but I'm here. Better late than never, Jolma. Thank you for joining us. Parandeep is saying we have a signal, a buy US dollar, Canadian dollar. So Parandeep, you were gambling on the news pretty much. Yeah, that's all that is. You're gambling on the news because the news could have made the US Canadian dollar do that or nothing. As it goes, US dollar, Canadian dollar has become bullish on the back of all of that good news. Yeah, I mean, we still have this problem with weekly versus daily on US dollar pairs, right? This weekly is still in a downtrend, right? It is, right? We're getting lower highs and these highs have held it. We're in a bit of a range and we're literally at the moving average 20. For me to really take US dollar strength seriously, I want to see a big breakout of this level. Something like this. We've got another day tomorrow of trading, obviously. If we start seeing bullish weekly candle like that, then I'm on the US dollar strength boat, party boat. Yeah, so there you go. What else are we looking at, guys? Lucky, hello, how are you, Lucky? Euro, US dollar, and DE40. What is DE40? Is that the DAX? Lucky, tell me what DE40 is. What else are we looking at? Okay. Okay. Omar's been waiting for a buy on pound Aussie dollar since last week, not giving into FOMO and waiting for price action. Omar, amen, brother. That your sentence sums up why traders are not profitable. Now, you're probably thinking, Tom, that's quite an extreme comment, but it's true, right? I have been waiting for a buy on pound Aussie dollar since last week, not giving into FOMO and waiting for price action. That is trading. You can like pound Aussie dollar buys, but you might have to wait 2 days, 3 days, even a week before you get a setup. Now, most traders are like, sod that, I'm not waiting that long, I'm going to enter the trade now, right? How many of you have done that? Be honest, I've done it, right? I used to do that a lot back in the day. But you're going to lose money. You have to wait and wait and wait and wait for the perfect price action entry, or whatever your strategy tells you to do. You just have to wait. Now, our price action indicator, right, that we've got going at the moment, that, you know, that's available. If you're interested in our price action indicator, please go check out the links. You'll also see it in our descriptions. That makes you wait because it gives you set rules to trade by, so you can't stray. That's what I love about this indicator, right? It gives you set rules to trade by, and you have to stick to them, and therefore it makes you wait because the setups are very clear, right? And as a result, they're not having the guys that are using the price action indicator are not having lots of trades every week, but what they are having are profitable months, right? And that is all you want as a trader: profitable months, profitable 6 months, profitable year. We don't care from day to day. Over the over the long haul, we want profitability. So guys, yeah, please go check out our indicator. If you're struggling to find some consistency and you're struggling with patience and discipline, I reckon the price action indicator will sort you right out. So go check it out. Right, what else are we looking at? Parandeep, check my chat. Don't ignore me. Apparently, I did check your chat, but the problem with I told you, Tom, the problem with your trade, let's go back to Parandeep's trade, right? He said before the news, buy US dollar, Canadian dollar. But apparently, all you are doing is gambling on the news, right? You may as well flip the coin. Really? Yeah. So if anyone gives me a trade, right? If somebody says to me 10 minutes before employment news or CPI or an interest rate, if they say to me, I am, US dollar news is coming out, I'm long euro US dollar, I'm like, you're gambling. Simple as that. That's what you're doing. You're gambling. You're gambling on the news. What if the news doesn't go in your favor? Are you still long euro US dollar? Of course you're not. Right? So I heard you, Parandeep, but you can't be gambling on news. Unless you're a news trader, right? I want to make that clear. Unless you're a news trader, fill your boots. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay, so it is the DAX. The DE40 is the DAX. Let's take a look at the DAX. Here we go. Rangy. Yeah. Between there and there. That's all it's doing, right? This is the weekly chart. We'll do a top-down approach. Right, let's do a top-down approach, guys, because we haven't really done one during this live session. It's just ranging, right? Between there and there. Simple as that. Do I want to trade from the top of the range back down to the lows? Probably not. I would be more interested in trading from the bottom of the range to the top. I would be more interested in that. Why is that? Well, two things, right? We are in an uptrend stroke range, right? This is true. Higher highs, higher lows, right? We're in an uptrend stroke range and we're tracking above the moving average 20. So with the DAX, right, I'm interested in trading from here back up to here, but I'm less interested in trading from here down to here. So for me, there's no real trade at the moment. If we've got a break of this level, okay, I would be bullish DAX. Right? If we broke this level, I'd be bullish DAX. But right now, no trade. Let's drop down to the day chart. Now, having said that, you know, the day chart has put a little bit of a different perspective on it. And I would be interested if certain things materialized. So let me explain what I need to see, right? So this was in an uptrend, right? It's hit that weekly resistance level. That's why you've got loads of uncertainty. You've got loads of buyers and sellers. They don't know what to do. Sellers win. Price retraces. Now, what I would be interested if this happens and we break this low, right? I'd be very much interested in that. Yeah. So you might, again, like Omar said, you could be waiting 3 or 4 days for that. You could be waiting for a week, 2 weeks. So be it. Yeah. That's what ultimately, that's really what distinguishes profitable traders from unprofitable traders, is just waiting for the right setup. So I'd be waiting for that, guys. You know, if the price out, we've got a big bearish candle, I would look to take price then back down to these lows here. I would be interested in the trade. I would also like to see, you know, a bearish-ish candle, maybe something looks like this. Right, I'd want to see that as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the DAX. But right now, no buy, no sell. Yeah, at the moment. So yeah, there you go. Who was that for? Lucky. There you go, Lucky. I hope that helps. What else are we looking at? Okay, so there you go. This week, the indicator has had 2 trades and 2 wins. Right? Can't grumble with that. Jolma, Tom, I have a question about your indicator. Let me get my teeth in. I have a question about your indicator. If I buy it to test, can I cancel whenever I want? Yes. Yeah, you can cancel whenever you want. It's basically a monthly subscription. So even if you just wanted to test it out for a month, right, you can do that, and then you can just cancel your subscription. If it's not for you, no problem. We won't hold it against you, right? But it could work for you. So yeah, that's a good idea, Jolma. Give it a go for a month. If you get on well with it and you enjoy it, crack on, carry on with it. If you don't, then yeah, it's up to you. But like I say, Jolma, if you are struggling with trading, it's really helped some traders in our community just get some parameters to work with, which helps them with patience and discipline and has achieved results, right? So what is not to like? And yes, Jolma, you can do exactly that. Again, guys, all the links are in the chat somewhere. Go check them out. If not, they're on my videos, etc. Right, what else are we doing? Parandeep. Okay, fair point. Tom, all we do is gambling. Nobody knows what market is going to do next. I agree with this point to an extent, but you need to have an edge, right? If you don't have an edge and you just slightly put the favor, you know, the probability in your favor, then you're screwed, right? It's not a 50-50 thing. It's not flipping a coin, right? You're using your strategy, your price action, your money management, your psychology to give you an edge, right? So yes, it is gambling, but you're putting the probability in your favor by doing certain things in the market and understanding how to read the charts, right? But news is gambling, right? That is a flip of a coin, right? That's totally different. Right, what else are we going to do? Okay, so guys, I just want to thank everyone for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and smash the like button. Hope you have a great rest of your trading week. Please go check out our vids and everything else on the channel. Come join our Discord and check out the website as well. All right, guys, see you soon.